Hi, this is Rachel from the Dotting Center. Thank you all for joining me today. I've got a fun project today. This is the fan spiral. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's one of the first stencils I ever made. It's great for things that spin. And this is for you, Wendy. Thanks for asking for an example for this one. I was happy to do not one but two. And this design can be done on anything but things that spin. It really kind of shows itself off when it can be on something that spins. So this multicolor one over here was really fun. What I did was each section of those spirals had a different base color, so you can really highlight the different colors as it spins. And for each section that was a different color, I used a different color for each horizontal line that was included in that section and just switched it out. Where with this one, this is the one that we're going to cover today, we are focusing on the vertical lines. And this one is going to be fun. It's an easy, quick project, and I'm happy to share it with you. So for this project, you will need stylus tools and dotting rods. I am using a wood pebble and all the paints are listed down below. So grab all your supplies and let's get started. Let's explore the fan spiral stencil. So fun. So we're starting off with the 2.5-inch wood pebble and the 3.5-inch fan spiral stencil. Now to find center, you just stick your compass right in the center of that wood putty plug, right in the center of the pebble. That's always going to be the top if you paint these. And you draw a circle, and then I wanted to extend my circle just a little bit down the sides. So the way I do that is I just pinch my compass together to the width that I want to extend that down, and I just draw a line all the way around it. For the base coat, I'm using black chalkboard paint so that my stencil actually shows up, so that the chalk pencil has something to grip onto and actually leave a mark. A lot of paints don't have enough grit to properly use a chalk pencil, so all of my base coats are most likely chalkboard paints. See how nice and velvety that dries? This is DecoArt Americana Decor Chalky Finish chalk acrylic paint in carbon black, and it just looks like velvet. It's so nice. It's very smooth. Now I'm going to use some putty and just stick it right to the center of the pebble. So you stick it right down, and that way it's not going to shift on you when you're drawing the design. Just makes things a lot easier. So now I'm using my chalk pencil. Now the thing about these chalk pencils, they're awesome for when you want to remove the lines because they're basically all chalk. There's no waxy binders in them, which can stick to your project, making removal just a nightmare. But you do have to use a blade to sharpen these. Otherwise, automatic pencil sharpeners will just eat these up. But they're awesome. I love them. Once you find a good one, you stick with it because, oh man, I've wasted so much money on terrible chalk pencils and markers, and when you find a good one, you want to just, and you know what? I have 3 and they have lasted for 2 years. Part of sharpening them with a blade is they just last forever. So yeah, they're really cool. All right, so the lines, they're all drawn just like that. So now you can, connect all of these lines just to see what the overall design looks like. And right now, there's chalk. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? This design is perfect for something that spins. It just looks so awesome. So what I like to do once I get the design on the object, I spin it around and just kind of get ideas for different color variations that might have cool optical effects. And you might want to do that and just see what grabs you. So now what you want to do is just wipe off the excess. That's really important because those little tiny particles of chalk will grab onto your paint in strange ways. So you want to make sure it's nice and smooth. For that first center dot, I'm using my yellow tool, and I'm just going to add one big gold dot right in the center. And now there's several different ways that you can approach this stencil. The way that I'm doing it today is I am going to do each one of those spiral extensions that come out. There's 4 different spiral extensions. Each one is going to have a different color. And all the dividing lines between those sections are going to be tiny little gold dots. So that's the first step. You just take your smallest stylus tool and And on your palette right now, just have either a white or a pearl white paint and whatever color you're going to mix with it. And for the first row of dots, we're going to use white, and they're going to extend along the right side of that dotted gold line. The difference is that the size of the dots aren't going to mimic the gold dots. They're going to actually, you're going to find a tool that fits within the 2 lines, the horizontal lines within that section. So the dot sizes gradually get larger as they extend down to the bottom of your object. So now for the second line, we're going to add just a tiny amount of colored paint into your pearl white and mix it up. This should be like a 20% tint of your color. So for these dots, you're just going to mimic the same exact size as you did the white dots previously. So you're just going to fit your tool to the top and bottom of those horizontal lines all the way down, and if the dots just get bigger as they go towards the edge. For that third row, we're going to add enough of the colored paint to give us probably a 50% tint of that color, and then do the same exact row all the way down. So mix a little bit more of the color in. This time it's probably 80% tint of your color, and then you just extend that line just like you did the previous ones. So with each row, you just add more and more of that color that you're using, and it's going to give you a tint of that color. And then finally, you would use 100% of the paint color that you're using on that last row extending down. And you would do that for each one of those sections using a different color each time. So now we're going to use that same formula, starting with pearl white and adding 20% tints of the next color, which is green, in this section. And then that is basically, that's it. You do that 4 times with 4 different colors until you've covered the whole thing. So here's what a color change looks like. You just take a dab of your color and mix it in with your white paint, and that gives you your next tint. And you just keep adding dabs of color and making it darker and darker and darker as the lines extend. So for the size changes here, you'll probably swap out your tool every few dots. For those of you who like to dot with brushes, this is a really good design to do it with. I've tried brush dotting and I don't enjoy it, but some people really, really like it. So if you want to try it out with this one, this is a really good one to try it with. Now here we are mixing another tint. Don't you guys love mixing paint? I love it. It's just so nice. It's relaxing. I like it. So now after the green, we're going to use turquoise. And then the very last section, we're going to use a nice pink. So once that pink section was complete, I let the whole thing dry. And now we're going to go into that center dot and add green, blue, and aqua, and I think I used white as well. So you just let that dot dry in between and keep adding a smaller dot on top of a different color, and it ends up looking pretty sweet. And now here at the end, this is where everything has been dried. The center dot was kind of thick, so I allowed it to dry overnight. But then you just wipe the chalk lines away with your cloth, and no one has to know that you used a stencil. And there you go. And now once it's dry, we have to take a quick recess so that we can see how the thing spins. And that's the funnest part. And yes, I said funnest, just because it is. So there it is, and now for the bottom I wanted to use a stain and sealer, and DecoArt has this new stain sealer combo, and it was okay. I wouldn't say that it blew my mind, but it's cool that you can get a wood stain plus sealer in the same paint, and it doesn't stink. It's water-based, so that's nice. But it didn't blow me away, that's all. And now I'm gonna add a gold line right along the center where those two, where the design and the bottom kind of meet up. I think it will look nice if I just add a fine gold line. And right here, I learned about this from Rachel, from Rachel's Rocks Canada. If you guys haven't checked out that channel, oh my gosh. She's so talented and amazing. I love her videos so much. And she uses a fine liner all the time, and she just makes it look like magic. She's just like, and things just look fantastic. I need a little more practice, but I'm glad to know that there's a brush like this that helps with lines like that. And now we'll let that gold line dry, and now to finally finish everything up, we're going to seal it up tight and make it look nice and shiny with some high gloss varnish from Liquitex. So what do you all think? What if can I spin this so it'll hypnotize you into clicking like and subscribing to my channel? No? What about this one? Does that one work? Oh well. Hey, if you like what I'm doing on this channel, consider buying yourself some art supplies. Go head on over to the Dotting Center and buy yourself something nice. Get some new supplies. Alright guys, until next time, bye.